I really want to see this crossover of where business can become healing rather than this pain in the butt. And I find that social media, oftentimes people want to throw their phone or computer out the window, or they just like Facebook sometimes makes you want to vomit. And I want to teach you how you can use it for forces of good rather than get sucked into the forces of evil. So you want to know more about me, you can go to jasonstein.com, and we're going to get into it today. So I'm going to share my screen. I have a bit of a PowerPoint. It's pretty light, but I do want to open it up for questions. It's not easy to share my screen and see the chat. So if you have a chat, Becky's going to be watching that as the questions pop up. Feel free to interrupt me, Becky, as we go. So here we go. Now, Facebook Live to attract more clients. Now, it's interesting because I think Dave Sutton's on the call. We had talked about changing the name, which I think is good to do in marketing, because Facebook Live for business could be anything, but Facebook Live to attract more clients is why you guys are here today. You really want to find the lowest hanging fruit to be able to connect with your audience. And Becky is absolutely right. I keep seeing business consultants that are like, bigger is better, wider is better, and it's not true. Business has and always will be about relationships. And the deeper you can build those relationships, the deeper you can build your word of mouth, the less hard you have to work on your marketing side. So when we look today, we want to talk about some things. I want to make sure, there we go. We have intentions, 3 intentions for today that I want to share with you. The first is really understanding why to consider streaming live video, even if you're not on Facebook. The second intention I have for you is learning the benefits of Facebook Live, like why that might be the easiest way for you to start. And the third is, what are the basics in getting you started? So this isn't just another hour wasted in more theory and ideas on what you could do in your business, but really taking it to an applicable approach that you could even do later today. So when we get started, why stream online videos? Well, I listed some reasons here, and they're all stats. The first reason, over 50% of marketing professionals around the world say video has the best ROI, return on your investment. So if you're going to spend any money in marketing dollars, might as well spend it in video, because it is super cheap no matter what people tell you. You can do it really, really affordably. You can do it well, and you can have the biggest return on the investment of your marketing dollars. Second reason, videos on social media generate 1,200% more shares. And that's what it means by being viral. Viral is like a virus. It just starts to connect more and more and more to different beings. And what you want is, you want your message to be heard, to be remembered, and to have a call to action so they can contact you. And so we take a look at this, and there's a few more reasons. Among mobile videos, 92% share video. That means when you produce something for your audience that's likable and entertaining and has some education, there's a high probability they're going to share it with their community. Now, if you think about numbers for a second, think about your blog, if you have one, and how many times it was read in the last week or the last month. Or think about your newsletter and take the open rate, for example, and then really take a look at, what are those numbers? Are they tens of people? Are they hundreds of people? Are they thousands of people? The truth is, you can get really good at video and be seen by hundreds, if not thousands of people. So reason number 4, on Desktop Live, viewing time averages 34.5 minutes longer than video on demand. Now, what that means is, if you're doing a live video, people are just more in tune, and there's something organic about it, the mistakes included, that people are really willing to stick around to see what you have to say. And so want to just give you a timeline, because I think it's important. We can look further back than 2007 of people experimenting. I think the first real big live streaming was Metallica concert. They figured out the technology and they live streamed it to their fans around the world. But when we look at like everyone using it, it really started in 2007. In 2006, Google purchased YouTube. Now, sometimes I use YouTube as a platform as well because SEO matters, right? And who owns the SEO more than anyone? Google does. And who owns the video? YouTube? Google does. So in 2007, Google realized lots of people were using video. How do we have mass producers of live streaming video? And YouTube jumped on it. We get to 2013 and Instagram launched with 15 seconds of video. It's still there. If you want to share your story, you can share 15 seconds worth. The problem with this is you're in the middle of telling something and then you have to pause for it to do another 15 seconds for another story. Now, they changed that, and now you can do 60 minutes of Instagram. And I was on a different webinar co-presenting today for Instagram for wellness people, because social media, if you hate social media, please talk to me or Ronnie Noyes or someone in the I Take the Lead community, because it not only is not a huge waste of time, it can generate leads and it can generate business.
Are you seeing more people on Instagram, Jason?
Yeah, in the last year, I'm seeing more people on Instagram, and here's why I'm on Instagram. I just started, I have like 400 followers, 5 posts, and I needed a Facebook break, and Instagram is owned by Facebook, and so they have a direct algorithm where you toggle a button and it pushes to your Facebook feed.
Oh, cool.
And I needed a Facebook break, so it was a perfect segue for me. And Becky, if you're open, I'm welcome to come back to talk about Instagram. But for right now, let's keep on the video train. Right. Periscope launched, acquired by Twitter. So we think now, oh, okay, Google, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Periscope. Periscope was huge in the beginning and then kind of fell off. And I have a Twitter account. I don't ever use it because I veer towards attention deficit anyways. And if you have to say something in 140 characters, you're like a squirrel. It's like, nut. So it's not for me. However, you can always beta test your audience and find your best stream for social media. Now, the one that isn't fully doing live stream right now is LinkedIn. They'll probably come online soon. And the beautiful thing about Facebook video that's live streaming, they've created a code for you. And what I mean by that is the programmers have a code where you can link that code over to LinkedIn, and you can do one video live stream and then share it on other platforms later, which can be incredibly helpful. Now we're on Zoom. Becky, did you know that Zoom Pro, you can live stream onto Facebook?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and so the technology is just coming faster and faster. So from 2007 to 2013, we see this like span, and now it's 13, 15, 16. Facebook launches public live stream video as an extra feature. And they rolled it out. I've been on Facebook for a long time. I use it a lot. I got it earlier than some of my friends and colleagues. And now everyone has access to it. So really thinking about why Facebook, why live streaming, it's a 70 billion with a B dollar market. There's $70 billion worth of products being bought and sold on Facebook, right? And so video streaming is here. It's not going away. And if you can get over some of the hurdles of not wanting to be visible, being afraid that you're talking too much about yourself, being afraid to be messy, it can really help educate your clients in a way that's going to leave them with a lasting impression that not only are you wanting to help them, but that you have expertise and knowledge that can help them now. So why Facebook Live? You have YouTube Live, you have Periscope, you have Blab, you have all the beta testers, you have Twitch, and ultimately, number one, 50 million people watch Facebook videos every day. 50 million. That is an insane number when you talk about target market and numbers. Now, maybe 50 million around the world, but 79% of American households are on Facebook. They don't have to create videos to use Facebook Live. They may just watch yours and never create Facebook videos. But 79% of your audience is on Facebook Live already, like American households. Now, if you don't treat everyone, or your service or your product isn't for everyone, then you want to start to think, wow, even better, I can create a video, and we're not going to talk about this today, but I can boost that video if I have a brick and mortar into the zip code area around my zip code for pennies on the dollar of marketing dollars. And so when you start thinking about it that way, you can think, wow, if I start to create video which actually stands apart from just a billboard or any kind of meme or just words that are inspirational, but actually has a call to action and lets people follow up, there's a way for you to start using this in your business where you already have all the technology that you need to use now. A couple more reasons. Facebook's the most popular. 2 billion people are using it. 2 billion people use Facebook. Like, I don't know how many clients you need, but I work with around 100 a year. Like, not a lot. And there's 2 billion out there. Now, if I specialize with wellness people. And so if you think about wellness people that are on Facebook, I'm guessing there's several 100,000. And I need 100. So it is valuable for me to foster relationships there because I know my clients are there. Reason number 4, it's already there for you. And I'm looking at my screen so I can't see your faces, but I'm guessing all of you, and if not all of you, almost all of you have all the technology you need to start today. You don't have to go buy anything extra. You don't have to take hundreds of courses. Like, you can really, literally start beta testing now. So who uses Facebook Live? Oh, a little bit of feedback. So who uses Facebook Live? Governments. I have a link here, and we can just like do this, and I'll go here. And if I just click on here, we'll just see that it's not live now, but this video that pops up right here was live at the time of Mark Zuckerberg being interviewed by the Senate committee. And I'm not a huge news watcher, but every now and then there's a Senate committee hearing that I want to see. I can just hop on Facebook and I can watch it live. Now, when you think about governments, I'm often, I get into that self-centric or egocentric and US, and I'm inside the US, although I just got back from Canada. And I think sometimes inside, but on the outside, many governments are using Facebook Live as a way to share globally around what's happening around the world. So governments is the first one. Now the second one, who do you think would be first to really be Facebook Live on universities? Any guesses?
Harvard.
Harvard it is. So Harvard's now using it for student recruitment, where the president is coming on for a Q&A, right? And they announce when it is, and then it's a live chat with the admissions staff. I said the president, but he probably shows up, walks in, says hi, and then other people take over from there, right? Now, the last one is for fun or for business. And I like to combine the two. And so I've been Facebook Living for a couple years. And if we go here, this is me and my wife being a little ridiculous. And I created a Facebook Live on how you want to back your business up. And I know we're dealing with a middle-aged conversation, but there's a song, Back That Up. And so we see my kids in the background.
I'm Jason Stein, and welcome into the Monday Morning Minute. You'll see that there's a PSA going on behind us. Hey, what's that song you guys are doing?
So what this video is about is it's about backing up your business hardware, like your computer. If you don't have a backup system, you should think about that, because every IT professional will say now it's not if your computer crashes, it's when it's going to crash. And many people don't back up to the cloud, and they don't have a backup system. And if you're in business and you lose your databases, you're screwed. And so in 2 minutes, I shared a video, and isn't it interesting? We look, and this was about a year ago, one share, over 300 views. I didn't share it anywhere else. I didn't boost it, and I could have. But then here's the executive director of the Small Business Development Center in Oregon, who's a part of the cybersecurity team, sharing that they advise for free with a link. Now, I know Kedma as a personal colleague, but all of a sudden I'm building more of a relationship, right?
Right.
And so ultimately it goes from this one-way channel of me just saying, hi, look at me, what do you think of my shirt? To, hey, I'd really like to share some information with you. And then it's engaged into a deeper level conversation. I just want to stop for a moment sharing so I can see your faces. I like to get a finger on the pulse to make sure no one's fallen asleep. We never know about the people that like have not put their video on. But I'm curious, like, do we have any questions? I see Dave's got a question. Yes. So Dave, when you look at the video itself, to the right of the video, it'll share views, shares, and comments. And if you're doing it on your business Facebook page, you can go to the Insight button and it does all the metrics for you, which is really great because you can narrow it down to which video in the last month got the most views and shares. And then you can pay $5 to push that out to a wider audience. So Renetta's eating lunch. We could do a Facebook Live on it. Kelly says it's great. And is there any questions?
I'm amazed when I go back. I'm amazed when I go back and look at videos that I've done,
Yeah.
live or other. How many views are there? When you go back, you realize, wow, that one's been looked at 400 times, and you don't
Right.
even realize it until you look back. It's like, wow, they like that one.
Yeah. Yeah. And Lynn, can I share something on the fly? Because I watch you occasionally, and I have,
Sure.
a tip for you, and that
Sure.
is the videos I remember most of you doing are on the run.
Right.
And so you could do financial credit systems on the run. Like that could be a whole show where once a week you take a run and you share a tip about
Right.
how credit card processing has changed.
It'd just be a short one, so it'd be tolerable.
So
That's a great idea.
people want to do business with people. They're tired of the Autobot. They're tired of the spam. They're tired of an email that says, hello, so-and-so. I've just been thinking about, no. You know, it's just like you can see through an automated email a mile away, and people are burnt out on that. So when you can bring yourself to video and you can share something important, people are going to want to talk about it. So how do you post to Zoom, Jasmine? You have to go for Zoom Pro, which is a bit more. I think it's like 30 or 50 a month.
50 a month, yeah.
It's 50 a month. And then there's just a little toggle that you do that allows you to push it right to a Facebook group. And if you have any private or secret Facebook groups, sometimes it's worth paying that money. Now, for me, I have a private group of all my clients that I put them in. I just use Zoom, and then I upload to Facebook, and I'm amazed that video takes me usually 2 minutes to render, meaning it takes 2 minutes to download and then upload to the page itself. And then I'm done. I'm not ready to give Zoom $50. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Well, that, and Eric said you can't have more than one people speaking. So I don't know how true that is with the Pro.
No, it's not true. I actually, I have a colleague that uses the Pro version and he pushes it. And basically it would be like, Becky, if you and Jean ever wanted to, you could upgrade if you want, and then you could push this onto the I Take the Lead Facebook page as we're doing it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Patty Keating does it that way. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, great. Cool, Jasmine. All right, let's get back to it. Here we go. Do you guys think I planned wearing the same shirt?
Oh, is it the same? The colors look a little bit different.
I didn't plan that. I just noticed it on the fly. Okay, so here.
It's actually his Tuesday TV shirt.
Yeah.
So getting started. This is the part, like, I am just learning the technology, and I want to give a brief segue that in the future I'll do screen shares right from my phone. For now, I took you guys a couple of screenshots. So when we look at it, the first thing is live.facebook.com/about. And so again, I want to show you this. I go here. You could probably find 1,000 different Facebook Live PDFs. The one I like the most happens to be Facebook's. And so you go to this page, how to engage, connect instantly, tell your story, and then getting started. And they really have a whole really, really good FAQ. And so that's a great way for you to just get the basics down. The second is follow my screenshots, and the third is give it a try. So really we look at this, and you'll see at the top, you see the camera here, you see live. It's right next to photo and check-in. Well, what you do is you click that button, and when you click that button, it comes to a different, and this is really important. I'm going to say it 3 times. This is really important. This splits down into public, friends accept if you have like that aunt that you don't want to see your thing, or only me, right? And I always think if you've never done video before, just start with only me and play with it. If you've done video, you like video, you feel confident in video, you can go public. The reason I go public rather than friends, I only have 2,000 friends, and there's 2 billion people on Facebook, so it just gives me a wider reach.
Are you using your computer right now? Or your phone?
Right now I'm using my computer. I just took some screenshots.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. So the third, great picture of me. That looks like an ugly mugshot. You see, like, where it says public at the top, you can re-see that would say only me if I change the setting.
Okay.
And then you start live. So you just do that blue button, and you don't need to worry, because it's not like it just pops on and you're like, ah, right? It'll count it off. It'll go 3, 2, 1, and then you're live. And I'll tell you, this is just professional courtesy. I see a lot of people doing Facebook Lives, and it's like 3, 2, 1, and then they start doing their hair, or they look at their reflection, and like, be prepared, because when you're live, you will be amazed at how quickly people will be watching you. Seconds, people will be watching you and throwing hearts at you and throwing thumbs at you, thumbs up. And oftentimes they'll type in, hey, how are you? Or they'll say something. And
I get a lot of those little poopy emojis.
Yeah. So what I would recommend is start with just you if you're not used to video, and then try it out. Now, I hate looking at myself talking. I have to cover the screen. Kelly, you're not alone.
I know.
The only person I know that likes talking to themselves is my daughter in the mirror, which she could do all day long. We could mirror her entire room, and I don't think she'd ever leave, right?
That's funny.
Yeah. So, and I'll tell her that I said that because we were just joking about this yesterday. I'm not telling stories without her knowledge.
And there are a couple other questions. Jason asks, he says, managing all these social channels is an investment of precious time. How do you manage it all? And then Lisa wanted to know, how much more beneficial is it to stream live to public rather than post?
Let's go for Rick first.
Okay.
So Rick, it's a great question. And I would say less is more, and be consistent. That's where people fall down. People think that they have to be on there for 5 hours a week or an hour a day, and they do a little bit over at Facebook and a little on LinkedIn and a little this, and then they just fall off and they don't do anything. So what I'm a fan of is this approach, Rick. I really believe create really good content that's engaging. And if you start with that, then you can actually start with a minimum of 3 times a week. And then you can start to see which of those got the most views and the most like, and then reproduce your content on a different channel. So you're not having to think about, I don't personally subscribe to Hootsuite or any of the one-stop channels, multiple directions. So there are third-party apps where you can post to everything at the same time. And the only time I do that is on my blog. When I push my blog out, there's a little button and it's easy for me. But I find that if you're just pushing too much information out, people feel it and they feel that you're not really there. And they may ask you a question about the content and it's another 2 weeks before you even see the comment and they've already gone somewhere else for their business. So building the relationship with the few is more important than trying to reach the many. And so the way I manage it is I'm just consistent and I play games around it. So my game right now, Instagram post a day, pushing it to Facebook, and that's all I'm doing right now. Now, the beautiful thing about Instagram push to Facebook is that you can push it via your personal timeline or your business page, and you can switch that at any time. So what I mean by that is there's a toggle. Any post I put on Instagram is going to land on Facebook, and I can say where it lands via my business page or my personal timeline. All right, so Lisa, how much more beneficial is it to stream live to public rather than post private and then post? Here's the thing about the challenge of posting private as you go along. It's a great way to start, Lisa, but if you're always posting private and then you untoggle it, people's timeline gets so filled that you've already dropped down where 5 minutes have gone by, and when you have 2 billion people on the same platform, there may be 10 other posts that have trumped you, and so you're kind of like on Google's second page. When you go live, your friends get notified with a little box that is like, so-and-so's live, would you like to subscribe to their channel? And that's going to give you more leverage. And so I'm always of the fan, start with going private and then post it publicly a few times. And then if you can, live is always going to beat doing it later. Kelly, we talked about you hate looking at yourself. Any other questions before I go back to the presentation?
Length of video. What do you find works best?
Length of video matters. So my school of thought is different than some social media marketers. Really, you hit a new algorithm when you hit 10 minutes or more. I don't ever watch anything of 10 minutes or more. And so my strategy for myself and my clients is around the 2-minute tip, and that in 2 minutes, you can practice getting off the ground, saying something of importance, and having a call to action or an inquiry, because it's really about engagement, right? Now, the only time I don't do that is when I'm doing a blend and integration of fun in Facebook. So my wife and I did 30 days of truth or dare on Facebook Live. Like every night, she'd either ask me or I'd ask her. We'd alternate. Is it truth or is it dare? We didn't know what was coming up. But we found like every night we got several hundred views, right? I've done babies in business. And so if you're doing it for the fun, allow yourself the freedom to not be pressurized to get it done short, but also notice if you're just rambling and your camera's still on, like, oh, and I want to think about the next thing I want to tell you. Right? So it's just your natural rhythms, and I think that you'll find them. 10 minutes or more, you'll kick into a new algorithm. A couple of minutes, you may find that people are more engaged.
Perfect.
Any other questions before I move on, Lynn?
Nope.
Great. Oh, Q&A. So there were a couple things I wanted to share. one of the things that I wanted to share is sound matters. And what I mean by that is if you're backlit, like if I turn my light this way and the lighting isn't as good, but you can hear me perfectly, you're not going to go away. But if I start like doing that, it's going to be really frustrating for your audience. So if you find that you do a lot of things outdoors, especially in windy areas, I would recommend a lapel mic. And you can just look on Amazon. You can get them pretty affordably now. Let's just see a raise of hands for those that you have your videos on. How many of you have an iPhone? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many have something else? 1, 2. For the something else's, what do you guys have?
Android.
Just put it in the chat if you can. Android. Android all day. Jasmine. All right, great. And so Facebook Live is pretty easy. I know iPhone way better than Android, but what I can say is you can start, one, make sure that people can hear you. 2, lighting does matter. And so the best light is outdoor natural light. If you don't have an outdoor natural light, you can get some LED lights. Like I'm looking at your lighting right now, and I would say Becky is good, Michael Chase is good, Jasmine is good, and Nancy is holding up a LED. And then Dave, you're a little backlit, and Jennifer, the way that and I know that you guys you're not here to present, so it doesn't matter, but these are things you want to think about. Alan, the way that you are right now, the background is good because it looks efficient, but the lighting needs to have a light on the other side of the computer, and to your right is I can tell is a window. So there's natural light coming in, and you can use that to your advantage. When in doubt, go to the park. The park has great natural light. Yeah. So the other thing I want to talk about is content. Content matters. I would invite you all to put the social back into social media. And what I mean by that is originally social media was created for engagement, and then it became like a cat meme mecca. Like, here's another picture of my cat. Here's what I ate for lunch. Here's what and I'm not against what you ate for lunch if there's something unique about it. Maybe it's a paleo dessert that you've made yourself, and I'd be totally interested in that. But if you're just about you and the things that you like, you're missing the marketing aspect, which is how do you educate your audience? So I always like bold volunteers. Raise your hand if you're willing to talk to me a minute about your business. Just raise your hand. All right, I saw Michael's hand first. Can you take Michael off mute?
Yep.
Becky?
Yes, I had to.
Hey, Michael, where are you calling from?
I'm from Woodburn, Oregon.
Nice. And what's your business?
I do social media and website development.
Perfect. So social media and website development. What's the big question right now about website development?
What's the big question about it?
Yeah, what are people constantly asking about?
Should I use a WordPress, a Wix, or go with a structured content, which is custom development?
Great. Should I go custom or WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, or any of the others, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so what piece of content could you develop that actually would be really good for those people that have that question?
What piece of content do I developed?
If you did a live video, what would be of value to the watcher?
The complexity of a content management system and why you can't always succeed in what you want to do.
There you go.
you need to go hire somebody that's a professional to get it done.
Great. Have you ever met anybody that tried to do it themselves?
How many fingers do I have?
That's right. That's
You know,
right. So I would guess over 80% of your clients have tried doing it themselves and then they hire you.
Or someone else. Yeah.
And so a great Facebook Live for you would be why hiring a designer or a developer will save you money.
True.
And if you had some tips about if you really set on doing it yourself, here's some places to go. However, here's some specific words that I've heard my clients say. I thought it was going to be easier. I really want to do what I want to do in my business, not do all the website developing because it takes me 10 hours. And I was surprised on the return on the investment of having a great site.
Absolutely.
I'm really curious. I'm Michael Chase, and I'm curious, what are your biggest questions about getting your website up and running? Now, that's a good Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Short and sweet.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? But here's the thing about short and sweet, Becky. If you get really clear on what your drum is and you can beat your same drum short and sweet again and again and again, you're going to be heard. And there are a lot of web developers and social media consultants. And if we start to learn more about Michael's personality and his flavor, it makes it so much easier to refer to him.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. And so thank you, Michael. Any questions?
No questions.
Great. Can we take one more? This is what I love. The other stuff is like you can read it on the PowerPoint.
Dave, you had your hand up before. Did you want to?
Yeah, great.
Okay.
The two that I've done, you inspired me when you came to our group, by the way.
Yeah.
I did two of the Here I Am at an open house. Stop by and say hello, walk through the house. This is good. Isn't this interesting? I just looked at one. I ran to 3 minutes and something. And each of them has had more than 50 views.
Great.
Got about 25 that day. So what have I lost?
Yeah.
But 3 or 4 minutes walking around an open house. What I'm going to do anyway. What I should do the next time, what I can do better, is be sure it's the first thing I do when I get there. Get there maybe 12:30.
Right.
It's a 1 to 3 thing so that I get a little bit ahead of people instead of doing it at 1:30 and hey, we're out of here at 3.
Right. And so what I would also do is it sounds like when you did them, you're just telling. This is this and that's that.
Yeah.
And I would invite you not to tell, but to engage. Right? So when you look at those two houses, name one of them just name the neighborhood in Portland where they were at.
Belmont.
Belmont. Wow. What do you know about Belmont?
It's a hip, up and coming neighborhood.
And what do you know about its history?
Not that much.
Okay, great. And so in 5 minutes, you could learn some more background about Belmont and you could share some engagement rather than just telling. So if I did that video for you, I'd be like, this 3-bedroom, 2-bath is in one of the hottest neighborhoods of Sunnyside Environmental School. The amazing thing about Sunnyside Environmental School is they operate like a charter school, but they're actually a neighborhood school. And every single kid in that school needs a jacket and rain boots because they go outside every day in their school, whether it's raining or not.
Yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, great. And so although I'm telling a story, and I would say I'm really curious because I have other houses. What's most important to you when you're buying a home?
Something else?
That's a really good way to generate comments.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Something else, Chris, a realtor in one of our groups, he's done a few videos, and now I look for them. And so if you've got a realtor in a group and he's sharing, share it for him. Put it out in your group. You never know who might be looking and say, this is a video from Chris. He specializes in downsizing. Here's a cool condo to look at. and then your network all of a sudden is seeing his video, that helps the shares. You never know, you might be helping a friend find his next home.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I Take the Lead's about. Like if you guys all started doing videos just within your group itself, you could say a good lead for me is anyone, including you listening, to share my video today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Great. How often should you do a live? I've heard a few times a day, but I'm thinking 2 times a week for me. I'm not into a few times a day. I mean, again, less is more. I'm not judging other people. I just tell you my rhythms and the rhythms of my clients. I think once a week, and it's really good. I've done this and I haven't done this, and it's really good to have the same time every week. So I've actually seen a medical practitioner that does Tuesday tea time, 10 a.m. every Tuesday. And when you do it that way, the beautiful thing is you can let people know it's coming. So once you start to get some momentum, the audience is really excited that you're going to be there. Kelly, can you hop on? Like, where are you? Raise your hand. Or are you in the dark? There you go. Would you be willing for Becky to take you off mute? Just shake your head. Oh, great.
What are we?
She totally did it before you agreed. All right. What are we doing?
I'm better pushed into things.
I love it. I just want to know what your business is.
I'm a mortgage lender.
Perfect. And where are you located?
In Denver.
In Denver, Colorado. Great.
Mm-hmm.
One of the hottest real estate industries in the U.S.
It's up there. Holy moly.
And so mortgage lending is really interesting because rates change, laws change, lots of changes, right? What's something recently that you found out just through education that you think the general population should know?
I think the biggest thing right now is with everybody's worried about what rates are going to do. So I've done one on those, and and people think they can't buy, and they can. They don't need 20% down. So those are 2 topics.
So there you go. You have 2 of your show's topics, right? So then what you do is you engage and you start to have a show about mortgage lending in Denver for the Denver community, and you have little tips.
I've done some videos on my page, but I've never done a live, but I'm in another coaching group that I'm doing lives every day. So I'm getting there.
It's great. That's great. So you're doing lives every day. Are you sharing them every day?
Oh, no. It's in a private mindset group.
Got it.
We'll keep that secret. But.
I call that the slow burn. You're just warming up to actually do them. Yeah.
That's it.
Awesome. So you're on it. You're on it already. Great. So knowing your customers' challenges and talking to how you can solve the challenges. Great. Yeah, Rick, really that's what marketing is building the relationship around education. Like in the beginning of business a long time ago, it was about educating people on the why. It wasn't about selling them things they didn't need. It wasn't about convincing them or trying to hook them in for business. It was about the relationship and the education. And that's what Facebook Live is perfect for. So we have just a couple of minutes before we close out. And I'm wondering, any other questions? And there are no bad questions. Like if you're just getting started, this is a great place to ask them. So I have a challenge for you. And the challenge is to consider doing a live at an I Take the Lead meeting. I've presented at I Take the Lead, and I've done some Facebook Lives, and what I found was just on the spot, they were getting hundreds of views. Hundreds of views, right? And that's just like, you could just be the what's it called, Becky, when you have the person that runs the meeting?
The co-director.
The co-director could just pull out their phone and ask permission of everyone. Like, can we all do our 30-second commercial today on Facebook Live to let people know who we are?
Cool.
Right?
Ellen, have you done that?
I have, and when you see Kelly and I laughing here because I literally just
I figured that.
That's awesome.
We've done it in a couple meetings here, but I literally just sent Kelly a message a little while ago and asked her if she'd be interested in taking point on doing that for the Greenwood Village team. So,
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So Alan's Mr. Denver. I take the lead, by the way, Jason.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Welcome.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you're already doing it. I always like it when there's someone in the audience that also is like pretty competent. And anything you're noticing about Facebook Lives?
I love the information you've presented, because we've done exactly that with the Arvada team here in Colorado. When we created the Facebook Live video, we tagged everybody that was there, and they shared it with everyone in their network. We did our commercials. It took we did a couple weeks where we actually rehearsed it and held our phones up in front of everyone to make it look like we were doing Facebook Live. And it's really funny how intimidating, even just holding the phone, even when you're not recording, it's funny how intimidating that is. But so it took a couple practice runs, but I was super happy with how it turned out. So we're going to be doing it again next week in the Lakewood team. And like I said, I just messaged Kelly and see if she'd be interested in taking point on that for the Greenwood Village team. So
I love it. I love it. And it doesn't have to be a one-shot thing where every week you're doing that. It could be every week you're sharing one different person you're looking for. Like on the Lakewood team, let's just say you're needing a financial planner, and you have people just say, we want you. This group wants you, and we want to give you business. Please come visit us. That's going to get seen. It's going to get tagged to financial planners, and it's going to get used.
Love it. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. I have one more screen for you guys. And here we go. Two things. One is business can be way more simple when it comes to marketing. It doesn't have to be hard. It's really about finding your flavor and showing up with your flavor, whether it's on your e-zine, on your blog, and in live streaming video. If you're wanting a one-page marketing plan, I have a summer special. It's $99 for an hour of time with me, and we drill it down where you come with a template. Well, you don't have to come with one. I give you a template. I interview you for an hour, and we'll boil it down to daily, weekly, bi-monthly, monthly, and quarterly actions for your marketing, so you don't have to think about it. The other thing is, if you like video marketing messages, I have a Monday Morning Minute. That's spelled wrong, but it comes out every Monday, and it's a 2-minute clip. And if you're interested in that, you can sign up for it at jasonstein.com/signup. I would love to get to know you more, and that's not just for your business. I love people, and I definitely I take the lead people, because I find I've been to BNI, I've been to LaTip, I've been to them all, and there's something very homey about I take the lead people. There's less slickness and more authenticity, and in my world, I totally appreciate that. And so if you had a question today that you were not comfortable asking live, like you didn't want to be called out in that way, feel free to email me, jason@jasonstein.com, and I'll get back to you.
Well, and I didn't even mention to everybody, Jason was my first coach several years ago, probably 16, 17 years ago, and he took a chance with me. He's just awesome. And then both Lynn and I have done the marketing plan, the one-page marketing plan. He really thinks outside the box. And I've heard several of our members have used Jason and done that with him. And it's really been effective. So thank you, Jason. Yeah.
Jason was actually the first special guest speaker meeting at the first I Take the Lead meeting I ever went to. And I joined that day. But also I've done the one-page marketing plan. He's authentic and he's good at teaching. And he's one of the handful of coaches. There's another guy in the group, Steve Schwartz, that I talk to a lot. And we always review presentations. And Jason's right at the top. And Steve will even say that. Steve's had his kids connect with Jason to talk about things. And he's really picky about coaching at all.
That's great. I see Dave looking for the link. If you want, I just put that link for one page.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jason. Yeah.
And I don't say this often, but it's guaranteed. I don't ask for payment till we have our time together. And I'm going to start taking a bigger stand that more people do it, because whether we do more business together or not, to me, people are spending too many hours marketing ineffectively. You're wasting your time and you're starting to struggle with your business, and then it's not fun. And business should be fun. Like, you chose this out of all the entrepreneurship you could do, and there's a way in which you can enjoy it.
Well, thank you. Well, we are just about at the, we've got a couple of minutes. Did anybody have any quick questions while you have Jason here that you are brave enough to ask?
Real quick.
Sandy asked if there's a replay. Yeah, this is recorded. I don't know where it's housed. Becky will have that information. And then there was a question that just came in.
Real quick, regarding the Monday Minute sign up, is that through that one-page marketing link that you just posted as well?
Oh, let me put that one as well.
Awesome, thank you.
One is right there.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah.
Good, thank you. Alan, did you have anything you want to add?
No, great information. I mean, this is absolutely great. Like I said, I kind of mentioned on it earlier, the hardest part is getting started. And I kind of wish Beth was on here. Kelly, you'll have to ask Beth about her first Facebook Live experience.
Beth Kopic?
Yep.
Yeah.
It was a open house that we were doing together, and I basically just put my phone up and said, "Hey, we're going live. Let's do a walkthrough."
No, I love this. I love this. So, Alan, are you a realtor too?
No, I used to be in mortgages. Now I do this full time. So
I take the lead. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And so, both for Kelly and Dave, Alan has some experience to say, if you're in real estate, this is needed. There's so much misinformation in the real estate world right now. And it's these little tips that are going to allow you to educate the people, whether they do business with you or not, and they're going to be grateful. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool.
Oh, Dave had one question. How do I post my business page after doing a Facebook Live on my personal page?
What you can do is you can just do it on your personal page and then hit the share button. And when you hit that share button, you can toggle through to your business page and share it over in your business page. Now, the only downside to doing it that way, Dave, is that you can't boost that post from your business page. You have to start your Facebook Lives on your business page to be able to boost them for marketing for later.
Good question.
Yeah. Jasmine, I like the thumbs up. With that, we're at time for me because it's getting warm here. It's getting warm here in Portland.
Yeah, and we're not used to it. Well, thank you, everybody. Yeah, Jason, go ahead.
I just want to remind everybody again, if you have a question, don't hesitate to reach out. My intention of this is that you learn a little bit about why. You learn a little bit about why Facebook Live, and then you try one. So please, if you got this and you want to do it, don't leave it at the information stage. Just do one to only you to get started.
Good. Well, thanks, everybody. I will be sending out a replay within 24 hours. So expect to see that in your inbox. I want to thank everybody for being on here, and nice to see people from all over. So thanks so much, Jason. We appreciate it. And I'll see you all live on Facebook.
Thanks, Jason. Great stuff.
Great to meet you all. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.